Hey, what it do? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing on this wonderful Friday afternoon? I ain't even had lunch yet, but because it's been a busy day. But hey, it's Friday and the weekend is upon us, and 3 weeks away from the draft. Are y'all excited? Because I know I am. Today, I just want to talk a little bit about Dez and Dak. Now, I said before I wasn't going to talk about Dez no more, but it's just something I got to get off my chest. And y'all already know, your boy E2, I keep it real. Now, I don't even know where to start because there's so much I got on my chest right now. So, I went back and I was just watching, because I heard a couple of you guys keep saying that some of y'all say Dak is trash, some of y'all say Dez is trash. Like, where are you getting? Have y'all not been watching the Cowboys since either one of them been on the team? I know that Dak is young. Dak has a lot to learn as a quarterback. Now, I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Dak Prescott is still a young player. He is now going into his third season with the Cowboys. And remember, he was not a first-round pick. He was not supposed to be the starter for this team. It just happened to fall in his lap that way. Dak Prescott, in my opinion, is a very cerebral, very smart player. He will, in time, learn how to be a better quarterback. Now, I'm going to tell you some of the things that I got from watching the tape on both him and Dez and their lack of chemistry. And this is why I was saying before that you have to have chemistry and cohesiveness with your wide receiver core as a quarterback. You have to, especially your number one and your number two. Dak Prescott has, in my opinion, I mean, if you look at his stats and the things that he does, that Pro Football Focus and stuff puts out, you know, all those stats are cute. It's nice. It's good. It just lets me know that he has potential to be better. It's not like he was a Quincy Carter that was acting up and got cut, and players that come into, like Jamarcus Russell, that came in and couldn't act right. I mean, for the most part, Dak is on point when it comes to his attitude and the way he's about the team, and that part we have. Now, I was a Tony Romo fan, and I still am. I always will be. I wish that when Tony Romo was here, I wish that he got a chance to do more. I wish he got a chance to get a ring. Because when Tony Romo was here, he put his life, literally, his life on the line for this team. He put his back out there on the field. He shattered his spleen. I mean, ruptured his lung or whatever in that, if you guys remember, in that San Francisco game. And he came back and won the game with a punctured lung. Now, I don't know many quarterbacks out here that would do that. Now, I'm not here to talk about Tony. I'm just mentioning him for the benefit of Dak. So, when Tony Romo was here, was Dez Bryant's best years catching the ball. We know that. In 7 years, Dez Bryant has scored 73 touchdowns. But some of you guys criticize Dez like he's never done anything for this team. Y'all treat Dez how y'all should treat Bryce Butler when he was here. I mean, I just feel like and I know my man Mark says all the time that, you know, you got to get younger. You can't be emotional about players. I get that. I'm not emotional about the player. I'm just looking at what he's done for the team. And I feel like he still has a lot in the tank. Now, with that being said, news came out about they did an interview with Josh Norman, which, you know, we all thought that they hated each other, right? But real recognize real, right? So he says that just what I said. This is what Josh Norman said verbatim. I think that Dez still got some left in the tank. And I feel like, in my opinion, the main thing that we have to do with Dez, if we're going to keep him, we have to lower that cap charge. We have to lower that $16 million that he's, and I know that he's 9% of the salary, but we have to somehow lower that. And I believe that Dez, they haven't really talked to him yet, which I'm going to get on that topic later, because that part is stupid to me too. I feel like they're being disrespectful to him because they haven't talked to him, but I'll get to that later. So when Tony Romo was here, he was hitting Dez Bryant for 35-yard games, deep passes, over the shoulder, inside the shoulder, even contested passes down low. Now, Tony Romo knew exactly where to throw the ball to. When Dez Bryant first got here, y'all know that he was raw as hell, because that's the way that Oklahoma plays. So Oklahoma State plays their wide receivers. If you look at the boy James Washington that's coming out of the draft this year, he's like Dez. He's like how Dez was when he came out, real raw. So it takes, and I know that Dez has been here 7 years, so he should know by now, and he does. I believe that Dez can run routes. He definitely can get better at running routes. He definitely can get better at running different type of routes. But don't you guys think that some of that has to do with the coaching staff and the wide receiver coordinator that we had before? Don't you think that it was his issue to deal with Dez on that level and get him to be more of a different type of running different, instead of just the X? He can do the Y, he can be in the slot, you know what I mean? Like, he can move him, but they failed to do that. Now, going back and looking at old game tape from when Tony Romo was playing with him, you'll see that he was making him look like an all-star. Now Dez is a strong guy. He's not the fastest guy, but he didn't need to be. He can separate without that because he uses strength. His upper body is leverage. And you can ask any cornerback in this league that played against Dez, unless it's D'Angelo Hall, of course, but ain't nobody worried about him. They respect Dez. They know what Dez can do. You know what I mean? Like, they may not try to, like, you know, give him all the glory because they don't want to seem like they're backing down, but they know the deal. There's been many a games where I've seen when Tony Romo threw him the ball, he got the ball and scored with it, or got the ball or got a big gain with it and got rack yards, run after catch yards. So that rack is very important as far as a wide receiver catching the ball and getting more yards after contact. Now, Dez did that. Let's go back to the Jaguars game when we were in London. Didn't Dez score 2 touchdowns? Both of them were like 50-plus yarders. Come on now. Like, yes, I agree with some of you guys saying that, you know, he declined. Yes, he did. Dez has had injuries just like every other player has. He's had tendinitis. But again, you gotta work with that, and you gotta get better. Because that next man up mentality, because if you don't do it, somebody else will. So I say that to say that when Romo was here, Romo actually taught Dez how to be a better route runner. He actually taught Dez how to basically play against certain cornerbacks in the league, and he got better at that. Because if you go back and look at it, the mic'd up games where you hear Tony Romo talking to Dez, hey, you shouldn't have did that. Do this next time. And then he does it, and he catches the ball for a gain, for a huge gain. And that's because Tony Romo knew his shit. And at the end of the day, it's going to take Dak a while to learn that. Now, and I'm going to go over a couple of things that Dak needs to work on that I saw looking at these videos. Shout out to my boy Koye Media. If y'all don't follow him, y'all need to, man. This man be breaking down film and get you to understand some things that you're not seeing. And it's the same thing I try to do on my channel. I try to get you guys to understand things from different perspectives instead of looking at it one way. Now, when Tony Romo got hurt and Dak took his spot, Tony Romo was still on the team. He was on the bench. Dak played so well his first year, like I said before, because nobody knew who he was and they didn't have tape on him. And 2, whenever he messed up or didn't see a read or missed a read or missed one of his reads, Tony Romo was on the sideline like, hey, next time go here. Look this direction because you missed this guy. This guy was open. You should have hit Cole Beasley on that sluggo. You should have hit Dez Bryant on that slant route. These are things that Tony Romo said to him on the sideline, which made him better because he was there physically. As soon as Tony Romo left, Dak Prescott declined. Not that he declined, but he played better because Tony Romo was there. Dak Prescott, in my opinion, was not ready to be a starting quarterback, but because he was there and because Tony Romo got injured, he took that spot. Now, it is imperative that this offseason, Dak and Dez work together. That is, if Dez is still going to be on this team. And if Dez is still on this team, they have to work together and get that cohesiveness. And to me, Dez should be going to Dak and be like, look, this is how Tony Romo threw me the ball. This is where Tony Romo threw me the ball. Maybe you should try to do this. And I know that Tony and Dak are 2 different type of throwers, but you want to get the maximum effectiveness out of Dez, these are the things that you do. And I agree with that. Now, I believe that Dez still got it. I know he still got it. Because if Tony Romo, I bet you $100, if Tony Romo was still on this team, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now because Dez would have had a better year. Dak Prescott, on many occasions, since he's been the quarterback, has missed Dez Bryant on wide open passes. I'm not down in any one of these players. I am a fan of both players, but they both have to do better. If both of them are going to be on this team this season or after next season, they got to get better. Dak's biggest things is this. He can throw the ball deep. He has a strong arm. I like that about him. But he has to learn he has to get better at his progressions. He tends to look at, he's a right-handed player. Most people that are right-handed always go to their right. It's natural. For example, like, I roller skate. When I do my spin moves, I spin towards the way that's my dominant side, which is my right. Which makes sense. Dak Prescott as a quarterback is going to throw more to his right. Now, if you look at the tape, he's always looking towards the right side of the field. He rarely looks to the left. Most of the time, Dez Bryant is lined up on the left side of the field, which in turn is the reason why he's missing him. Now, if you... The games and the times that he does look over there, he's seeing Dez and he's throwing the ball to him. And it's a 35-yard gain. Or it's a 20-yard gain. Or it's an 18-yard gain. Or it's a touchdown. So, as I digress, those are things that Dak has to work on. I think that Dez's numbers would have been tremendously better. And yes, Dez had a couple of drops. He did. And I think a lot of that has to do with Dez not throwing it to the right spot. You know, Dez has been here with Tony Romo for his whole career, so he's used to he's used to getting the ball thrown to him like how Tony Romo did. That's the reason why they need to get together and get on the same page so they can have that cohesiveness with each other. They need to get that chemistry. That is important. If Dez is going to be on this team, that has to be the narrative. Now, I think Dez is worth the money if it was still the Dez Bryant when Tony Romo was here. And he can be that same Dez Bryant if Dak would throw him the ball where it needs to be. There's been times where he threw the ball too late. There's times where he got sacked because he threw the ball too late. You go back and look at the tape, you'll see where there's a gap where the offensive line was blocking very well. But it ultimately was Dak's fault because he did not throw the ball as fast as he should have. Now, that's something that he's going to have to work on. I believe that he's going to get better at that. It's going to take him a little bit of time, but hopefully this year we'll see something better with that. Now, with the coaching staff, they also need to see this, because I know coaches see the film. They're watching the film. That's how coaches evaluate players. They look at the film. They're like, oh, well, he fucked up right here. Oh, we don't need him. We'll cut him. So, again, they're looking at tape. So, Jason Garrett always coming out in the media telling Dak, oh, you need to get better. Yeah, you need to get better. But you need to be better as a coach to tell him as a young player, hey, maybe he doesn't see what he's doing wrong. You were a goddamn quarterback in the league yourself. And you played for the Cowboys. You backed up Troy Aikman. So, to sit here and tell me that he just needs to get better? No. Yes. But you also need to be better as a coach and coach him to the point where, look, Dak, this is what I see in the tape. This is what you need to be doing. You and Dez need to be out here on this field, working on this, working on that. That way you guys can have that. That's what OTAs is for. That's what workouts are for. That's what training camp is for. You got to get better. You have to. And I know that Dak can do it, and I damn sure know that Dez has the ability because we've seen it. 73 touchdowns in 7 years. There's players that don't even get a quarter of that in their career. So, again, those are the things that need. If Dez is going to be on this team in the 2018 season, him and Dak both have to work together to get it right. Dak has to throw the ball better. Dak has to work on his progressions. He has to look at the whole field instead of just one side of the field, instead of just catering to his right side. You got to look at the whole field, because when I see a lot of those plays, Dez done burnt the receiver. He done burnt the cornerback, but he's not getting the ball. He can't score if he ain't got the ball in his hand. So, again, the problems on this team is not just Dak. The problem on this team is not just Dez. It is the team as a whole. Everything has to work together as one unit. That's how the Eagles won the Super Bowl. You have to come together. Everybody has to be on point. This is the reason why you practice. We're talking about practice. This is what needs to happen. Dez and Dak need to be outside right now as I speak, working together every day in this offseason. So, I'm saying this because a lot of you guys keep saying that Dez is trash, Dak is trash. That is not true. First of all, you guys probably never fucking played football in your life if you think that. Two, you obviously don't know the game, and you're just going by what you think that you're seeing. But if you actually look at the games and pay attention to more than what the TV broadcast shows you, then you can see. Because guess what? Film don't lie, bruh. Just like in this video, you looking at my ugly ass face right now. That ain't a lie. You're seeing me. This is me. It's not a catfish. Just like with film. What a player does on the field, that's what he's doing. And that's how players get better, because they look at themselves and they're like, oh, damn, I missed that read. I missed that. I need to do better. So, that's what it is. So, with that being said, I hope that I brought a little bit of insight to you guys. I hope that clarified a little bit. But again, you guys that hate Dak and Dez, or either or, you're going to feel how you want to feel, and that's your opinion. I respect that. But I'm just saying, you know, and I'm not being emotional about it, because if neither one of them on the team, that's a business decision. I don't work for the team. I don't get paid for the team. I'm just a damn fan of the team, just like you guys are. So, I just speak on what I see. I keep it real, bro. I keep it real. So, with that being said, thanks again to all my subscribers. I appreciate y'all. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Support your boy. Out here working, trying to get ready for this draft. And, yeah, everything's going to be all good. So, until next time, y'all have a great day. This has been your boy, E2 Blue, keeping it real, signing out.